Since my last video, I've been pretty busy and feeling like the A-team. You know the expression. I love it when a plan comes together. After returning from my last trip, I was determined to get serious about my build-out, which meant covering the holes from the middle seats and putting in the supports for the subfloor. Sounds simple enough. Au contraire, and that's where the plan comes in. Take a good look at where I've covered the bolt holes, and you see little depressions that run the width of the van. My plan is to shave down strips that will go into those depressions and float on top of the rubber mat, but will also allow me to bolt the subfloor to those strips. This meant sending planks of wood through my planer over and over to plane or shave the wood down to the desired thickness. Next came cutting each board into strips. A lot of people like to use their table saw for long cuts like this, but I prefer the bandsaw. Either way, you're running the board through the bandsaw over and over to create the strips. Notice how the number of strips on the left-hand side keeps growing? But besides the repetition, I did get it done and was glad to make the last and final cut. Here I have to admit that I forgot to take pictures or do a recording of me gluing the strips onto the rubber mat. But how does the expression go? It is what it is. And once they were on, I needed to make sure that they were leveled and held in place. And then came using the rug from the van as a template for the actual wood structure that would sit on top of the strips. But wouldn't you know, just as I was getting ready to do this, it began to rain. But I had reached a point where I refused to be denied and brought the rug into my den and cut out the template there. Okay, by now I was beginning to realize I was becoming a little obsessed and decided to call it a day. After a good night's sleep, the next day I finished my cuts and the subfloor fit like a glove. All that remains is to put down the vinyl flooring, and the floor of the van will finally be done. And finally, after a trip to the hardware store for vinyl flooring adhesive, it was off to the races. First, to cut out the template that matched the subfloor, then to place the template over the floor so I could lay down the adhesive. And then, inch by inch, I applied the adhesive until the floor was complete. So now you understand why I've been feeling a little like the A-Team. And so glad that the plan came together. But wait until you see what the kitchen wall involved.